Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias, sabah khair. Welcome to my channel. I am Kelsey Anderson, your Lenormand Tarot connoisseur, and today we are going to do a collective tarot reading for November 17th, 2022. Sorry if my voice sounds a little bit hoarse. I have allergies. It's allergy season in Mexico City right now. I'm doing this tarot for an overall general guidance for this video for the day. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Take a moment. But today, the moon is in waning crescent, right? So, waning crescent in Virgo. So, I want to capture the energy of the day with the Lenormand Tarot cards. And I am using my Afro Goddess Oracle deck here, along with additional guidance. I'm going to read from the book with the Egyptian gods. I love this deck, and I really feel like the Egyptian gods always have really great messages, especially like overall guidance for the mind and spirit. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to do a 5-card Lenormand Tarot spread. I invite you all to ground down as we call in the ancestors and spirit guides that serve the highest good of all who are watching. Of all who are watching and all who need to hear this message. What is the guidance and direction on this day from ancestors and spirit guides that serve our highest good? We ask this question in the name of the Most High for November 17th, 2022. Ashe. Let's start. 5-card spread. Okay, so 5-card spread. Here we go. The first card that we have here is the Goddess card. Now, the Goddess card can represent you if you identify as a woman, right? Or it can represent a strong feminine presence in your life, okay? The Goddess card is also here representing the moon, right? So the moon being the intuition, the intuitive, divine, feminine force, right? Now here, next to the Goddess card, we have the dog. The dog represents someone loyal, reliable, trustworthy, dependable, but they can be somewhat needy as well, okay? Then we have the fish. The fish can represent abundance, but it represents money for sure. Okay, so something coming up with career, work, or finances today. Then we have the black fox. Okay, so the black fox represents, it represents someone maybe cunning, charming, alluring, but they've got it together. It's sort of like someone in a business mindset, okay, who doesn't show all of their cards. They do not display emotion, so you never really know what they are thinking, okay? So that's the black fox. Then we have the ship card. The ship represents movement and travel, okay? Okay, so in terms of work, I'm seeing 2 different things going on here, okay? So the dog being close to the goddess is representing how you show up in your job today, okay? In your work, in your business, okay? being that the moon is present in both the goddess card and the black fox, I'm getting a sense that there might be some discomfort, right, at work or in your job. I don't know if that's related to finances, or maybe you could have some, if it's not discomfort, okay, so the select few, right? There could be discomfort related to your finances, and so it's causing you to show up at work today, or discomfort with your job, and it's causing you to show up with a persona, right? Like this persona that everything is fine. Maybe people don't really need to know your business, right? The persona is it's not really cunning as like the black fox would suggest. It's more so like friendly, personable, because the dog is connected to the goddess. So that is going to be representative of your character, right? That's going to be representative of your approach, right? Maybe you are deciding to show up with a persona of someone very friendly, personable. They have it together, and it's actually quite alluring. Like people quite enjoy that today. Okay, some of you could be thinking about leaving a job, leaving work. There's secret plans that you have for yourself that is a primary focus, right? If you look at these two cards, right? So the goddess beginning the line and the fox being towards the end of the line, the moon is sort of encompassing, right? It sort of draws your attention. The other card is the ship, right, which has the sun in the background. But because the moon is here, there are some secret thoughts that you're holding about your job, about your finances, about work, and you're not sharing it with others. You may feel drawn to doing that because of your friendly disposition, right? Like this friendly persona, to like talking a little bit more about what you're doing. But ultimately, I don't think it matters. And the fox actually, because it is the biggest planet, right? It's telling you to follow the influences of the moon today. So really keep your plans private today when it comes to work. So people are moving on, somebody is moving on, right? From a job, from work, from in their business. Someone is moving into a better position. You're moving into the sun, right? You're moving into success. You could be planning to travel, and you don't really want to talk to people at your job about this. There's a sense of secrecy here. And keep with the influences of the moon. Keep with the influences of secrecy. Yes, you have this friendly persona at your job, but they don't need to know everything. Now, if you are a man, or if you just don't identify as a woman, I would say that there is an important meeting coming up with the feminine influences in your life about work, job, finances, okay? Now, these people can be trusted, but you first need to trust yourself, okay? You first need to trust yourself, trust your plans, and until you feel comfortable and really secure about what you're doing, where you're going with your plans, don't really reveal too much, right? It's not the time. There's going to be progress for you, probably even within 3 days, okay? I'm seeing 3 days coming from the ship card. In 3 days, things might seem a bit clearer. You will be clearer about the people in your job, the people at work. So 3 days from now, today is Thursday. The weekend's going to be here. So that means that by next week, your next working week, things will feel clearer, or maybe your plans are going to be in action by next week. Maybe your plans are going to be full force by next week, right? So that's when, if you feel more comfortable explaining what's going on, then sure. But for right now, just keep what's very personal to you private. And that also would be applying for everyone. So if you are a woman or you identify with the feminine influence, the idea is to really tap into more like moon energy and put on a persona that's personable, gets along with everyone, but you don't really need to tell your business, right? If you are a man, you can, or you just don't identify as like feminine, right? You can have these conversations. There's a meeting coming up with an important woman figure at your job, but there's still the same theme of being private today. I think what you have planned for yourself is going to bring you joy. You're moving in from the darkness, right? The moon, the influences of the moon, maybe some uncertainty, and you're moving into the light. You're moving into something that will bring you happiness, that will maybe even fulfill you, okay? So take some time. It doesn't have to be forever. Again, the ship says 3 days, maybe even by next week, things might be clearer about, where you're going. You also, for a select few, I'm getting a sense that you could be about to go on vacation and work has been uncomfortable. There's something uncomfortable when the black fox shows up. So with the moon so large and being the direct focus of the line, and the fact that the goddess has the moon in the background, like something's uncomfortable about work. Maybe, I don't know if it's been a hard time, or it could be about the feminine influences at your job and your business. And maybe you need to take a vacation. And so you could be planning to take a trip. You could be planning to take a vacation maybe by next week. And if you're not already, if you really feel secure in your job, you're comfortable, secure meaning stable and consistent in your work, but you've been uncomfortable with the people you're working with, or maybe you've even been feeling burnout when it comes to money, this is your sign to take a vacation, right? Even if it's a mini vacation, it doesn't even have to be that long. It could be 3 days, like literally the number 3. It could be 3 days. And you could just take a vacation and leave. Just, separate. Take those vacation days. If you don't have vacation days, personal days. If you don't have personal days, take sick days, right? But take a little break for yourself, right? To maybe even clear your head. It's going to be very fulfilling for you with the sun, okay? So that's the message from Lenormand Tarot today. Let's get into the Egyptian gods, right? What do the Egyptian gods have to say? Let's call on our ancient Egyptian ancestors, spirit guides, and our ancient ancestors and spirit guides from the time of the Egyptian gods, who represent all of the elements and forces that serve our highest good. What messages do you have today? Please channel your messages for November 17th, 2022. Channel your messages for the collective for November 17th, 2022. Please do this in the name of the Most High, Ashe. Okay, so the Egyptian god that's coming up, we have Khnum with resourcefulness. Okay, I think that's how you say this, Khnum. Okay, resourcefulness. And we have the Jed pillar here. Okay, the Jed pillar is sacred. It's similar to the cross. Okay, it represents a personal transformation. And then, also we have the number 21 here. Okay, let's read from the book, right? I encourage you, when you have your oracle card decks, get familiar with your oracle card decks by really resonating with the card first, right? Seeing what could it possibly mean for you, and then reading the guidance from the book, because there's a lot of affirmative messages here. Okay, so Khnum, resourcefulness. He is often represented with a human body and the head of a ram. He is considered the divine maker of pots. He gives life to his creations by modeling them on a lathe with clay from the Nile. He also shaped the egg of creation. He is a deity associated with male fertility and procreative potency, fire, inherent in the symbol of the ram. In breathing new life into things, Khnum is seen as a health giver, new positive beginnings, or the birth of something powerful and inspiring in your life lie on the horizon for you, such as the creation and production of new things. Action and resourcefulness under the influence of Khnum are bearers of fruit. I really think that was speaking to the ship, and the message that I was mostly receiving here was that some people are moving on in their job. I don't know if people are getting a promotion, or you have things planned out, right, that only you know of, that people around you don't know, like in your work. Okay, maybe you're planning on a way to let people know, or maybe you don't even need to let people know. But Khnum is here really emphasizing, right, this new beginning that's coming up for you, right? That sun, you're moving with the ship, you're moving into a sense of fulfillment, into a sense of joy. And I feel like that's really important to you based on the influences of the moon here, maybe going through some discomfort in silence, okay? You've been taking on a lot of responsibility. Also, in the Lenormand Tarot, like in an Egyptian Lenormand Tarot, the Jed pillar represents the cross. The cross is the symbol of responsibilities and burdens that we bear. Okay, so maybe you've been burdened or been taking on a lot of responsibility within your work and finances, and Khnum is saying that is all going to manifest into a new beginning, right? Like, thank you for your work, thank you for everything that you've done, now it's time to move on, right? Thank you for your work, thank you for everything you've done, now it's time to take a vacation, right? Something that will bring you happiness and joy. I really do feel like this is meaning that people are moving on in their job, people are moving on in their finances, there's new projects coming up for you, and it could possibly start next week. So today we have that moon and waning crescent. It could be a day of just self-reflection. Put your persona on, show up friendly, show up nice, and maybe give a little tidbits about where you're going, but you don't need to tell all. Keep that secret, trust in yourself, and trust in the process, okay? So I want to thank you for joining this video, this collective tarot today, and I will see you next time. Bye.